Welcome to today's live stream. Hey, we have a lot to talk about today. Shout out to everybody out there, man. I know it's preseason football time and it's a lot of preseason game going on right now. But we got a lot to talk about. We gotta crank this live stream back up like we used to in the past. Uh, Let me check my microphone, make sure my microphone is good, you know. Shout out to everybody that's out there. Hope you're enjoying this Saturday. You know, as you come in, just let me know where you're checking in from. As you come in, but we're gonna take care of that. We're gonna fix that. I don't know what's going on my screen, but we gotta keep the we gotta keep the show flowing and going. I don't know what's going on my screen, but got a lot to talk about today. Bruce Knight, what's going on? First up in the building. Shout out to you. Let me see if I put this computer further back. Let me see if my screen there, or it's even worse. The thing is bright. What's going on, Pat? Pat, up in the building. Welcome to the chat. Yeah, man. We got a lot to talk about today, you know, because I want to say the Shadeur Sanders situation is bigger than football, man. It's bigger than football, and we're gonna wait for some people to get up in here, share out the live, and hit the thumbs up so other people can get notified that we're live. You know, we got the channel active again. We got the channel up and flowing and running again. And you know, we got to share it out so you know I can get the algorithm to start getting the point that the RLC TV channel is back. You know, I ain't really going nowhere, but I haven't been that active on YouTube like I used to. You know, but now I want to come in with my live feed nowadays, and I want to talk about real topics. You know, I don't just want to talk about gimmicks all the time. Sometimes time to talk about real topics, man, that affect us and affect all our peoples, man. You know, shout out to everybody out there that been watching my. There's a lot of people. Hey, my dog is becoming a star. There's a lot of people out there that's requesting to see videos. I put a little quick short video of him just chilling in the yard, and it's taking off. You know what I mean? Buck really got a little fan base out there. So shout out to everybody that been checking out. But hey, putting it put in the chat. Let me know where you checking in from. You know, soon as I get 10 people up in here, we gonna get to the point. You know, soon we get 10 people up in here, we gonna get to what we're here to talk about. You know, shout out to my Buccaneers. We're playing. Who we playing tonight? Some team. I always forget who we playing because it doesn't really matter. You know, let me look who we playing tonight. Let me look. I think it's a team that I think we're playing a team that got a pretty decent quarterback that I wanted to see. Okay, that's who we're playing. We're playing the Tennessee Titans. Yeah, they got a pretty decent quarterback in Cam Ward. You know, and while we talking about football, we're gonna dive into the subject in a little bit. You know, but we waiting for some more people to get up in here. You know what I mean? So shout out to my Bucks. They gonna handle business tonight, like they always do. You know what I mean? And shout out to everybody that's out there right now. Share me out. Let's get this channel back up and rolling. So Bruce, we got Bruce and Pat in the building. Um, Shout out to y'all. What y'all got going on tonight? What y'all got going on out there, man? Hope everybody enjoying this I would say beautiful, but it's raining down here. It's been raining all weekend. It's been raining since Friday. I got soaking wet at work, but it's part of the job. It's part of being a truck driver, a physical truck driver, I must say, because you got truck drivers that drive over the road and they don't got to get out the truck and deal with the stuff that we deal with. So shout out to those guys, man. They got it a lot easier than we do. But on the flip note, we get to come home every day. You know what I mean? So we might as well get to the point. We might as well get to the point, and we're gonna get to the point. So I've been following Shadeur Sanders and the Deion Sanders situation. We got 7 people up in the building, man. Hit the thumbs up for me. Let me know where you guys are joining from. Share me out, so we can get some people up in here. And I need everybody to participate in this live today. And let me hear your opinion. And let me know what you think. And let me know what's on your mind. Because first thing first, I want to say the situation that they got going on with Deion Sanders, Shadeur Sanders, and the NFL is bigger than football. Me and my friends, we was talking this morning, and we were just talking about being a black father, right? Being there for our kids, right? Being there, just the presence and just the fact that us regular people, we feel like we're providing a safe environment so our kids don't got to go through the things that we go through, right? And what I'm trying to say is that they don't like that. Let's start there. Let me take a sorry God, I gotta take a sip. I I'm just I'm gonna take a sip. And there it's a whole Bible verse about never mind. We'll get into that later. Right? I don't like the things I don't you know what, we'll get into that later. But to get back on subject, and I want you guys to like participate into this because it's deeper than what you think, right? Shadeur Sanders, his dad, he don't come from the typical football player background that you normally hear out there, right? What's your typical football player that make it? Come from a single home, one mom or whatever. Uh, it was hard coming up. This what they want you to say. It was hard coming up. Uh, you know, I really appreciate being in the NFL right now. This was my one dream, my one goal. My mom ain't had nothing to put on the table. I had to go out there and grind to help mama and stuff like that. My dad was never there. I don't know who my dad is. And I had a baby at the age of 14. And while I had a baby at the age of 14, my mom had another baby. So guess what? My kid ended up being older than his uncle. You know what I mean? Those are the type of that's what they want to hear. You know what I mean? That's what they're used to hearing. You know what I mean? They are not used to we're gonna talk about the swag later. They're not used to the typical coming from a decent home with your head on your body. You gotta remember, in the NFL, typical player usually lasts about 4 to 5 years in the NFL, right? If you don't have your head on your body, Like you'll be out of the league really quick, right? So the average player, they don't have it upstairs. They just don't. And I'm just being serious. You know what I mean? Hey, y'all comment in below. Let me know what you think about the Shadeur Sanders situation because it's bigger than football. We're gonna break it down in different angles. You know, we're gonna get to the meat and potato of what it really is, right? So, the average player, they just don't have it. The average football player go broke. You know what I mean? That's what they're used to. I'm not gonna sit here and say that's what they want. That's what they're used to. I'm gonna tell you what they do not like though. You know what I mean? Check in, check in. Everybody check in, man. Um, let me know in the chat where you checking in from. Let me know in the chat what's your team, what's your football team is anyway, and let me know in the chat if you're following Shadeur Sanders because I never thought I would watch Cleveland Brown football, right? But let me go and we got Pat in the building. Let me go ahead and read his comment. Appreciate you for commenting. I feel like they thought he would fail. Didn't give him no first team reps. Had him throw into the equipment staff, but see how his confidence. If you listen to the head coach and even the owner of the team, right? If you've been following this story and you listen to the way the head coach downplay after the game, you listen to how the head coach downplay the way Shadeur played, right? It's like this was a setup. They had a man going against the first team defense of Carolina. The first team defense started. A lot of people didn't know that, right? The first team defense started, and then you had guys that's trying to make the team. They start trickling in and stuff like that. But don't get it twisted. These are all NFL players, and and you guys might hear my dog screaming in the background. I got him. Anyways, I'll deal with him in a second. He hear me talking, that's how he gets. But you got guys fighting for their jobs out there. Guys trying to make their team on the Carolina Panthers. So they were coming after him, right? And he was making all the plays like he used to be making. It was a setup. The world knows the setup. They wanted to fail. It's like this, right? You get a man that less reps in practice, right? So it's like, let's just throw him out there, right? They wanted him to fail because if he fail, then they'll brush him to the side. You see, I told y'all. You know what I mean? What needs to happen, they need for some reason, something is telling me that he's not going to be with the Cleveland Browns for a long time. He's going to end up with a different team, and he's going to shine with a different team. We got Barry Henderson up in the building saying it's always a learning curve. Game is faster in the NFL. One thing I can say about that is that in Colorado, like Deion Sanders prepared those boys for the NFL. So a lot of these boys that came out of Colorado, these kids are ready, man. They're ready to go. They're well trained. So he's fully prepared. You know what I mean? Jersey sale. Like he's third in the league amongst rookies in jersey sales. That should tell you a lot right there. Like the whole city of Cleveland is behind him, right? Let me ask y'all a question, right? When's the last time you guys was excited other than Cleveland Browns football. Cleveland Browns. Come on now. You know what I mean? My personal opinion, I don't think the owner really wanted to, I don't think they really wanted to draft him. But when they saw him kept dropping in the draft, they're like, you know what? Let's hop on this publicity stunt train. We need something to distract us from the Deshaun Watson situation, which they're on the books for like, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, they're on the books for like 240 million. But that situation got going on. Listen, the Cleveland Browns got the worst quarterback situation going on in the room, in the whole league, I meant to say. They still got the Deshaun Watson situation. They got Gabriel. They got Pickett. They got Flacco. They brought in Huntley, and they got Shadeur. Like, come on. I don't even a 2-year-old kid don't even know what they got going on, right? I think they. I think on paper, you would think if you look on paper, right? You would look on paper and you would think to yourself, you know what? Gabriel should be the starter. Like they should be prepping Gabriel to be the starter because they drafted him what number 1, and so you should be prepping Gabriel to be the starter, right? Pickett to me is the veteran with that veteran presence, and now by bringing in Sanders, it reminds me of the Russell Wilson situation. Anybody remember when the Seahawks gave Matt Flynn all that money? Wilson performed in the preseason like that guy never seen the field. Like it's crazy how things can happen in a mysterious way. But back to the subject, what I'm trying to tell you, what I'm trying to talk about. He fell in the draft, and it's all collusion. It's all collusion, and anybody with a little bit of common sense see it and know it, right? They don't want you to have swag. They don't want you to be confident. You know what I mean? And this been happening in the world like all over. This happens all over in the world every day. Once you're outspoken, once you're too confident, like they don't want you. They don't want you to get ahead. They don't want you to be on top. Like I'm a quiet person, but I consider myself outspoken when I see something that's not right. That's the way I am at my job. And usually when you're that type of person, you're going against the grain, and they don't like that. You know, like your team is always gonna support you, but the bigger heads, the upper heads, they don't like that. You know what I mean? And this is just a situation where Shador fell in the draft, and they don't like that. They don't like the swag. They don't like the confidence. They don't like the fact that the kid already come in the NFL with money. I believe he got paid over 12 million just off of jerk. They're mistaking his confidence for arrogance. They're not used to that, bro. I'm thinking about this earlier, right? What do you want? Do you want somebody that? What do you want? You want somebody that got arrested 3, 4 times. You got somebody that beat up on your girlfriend. You got somebody that substance abuse. You got somebody that always late to practice. What kind of role model do you want? Look at the way this guy deal with the kids. Look how the kids respond to this dude, man. You know what I mean? Take a look at the kids. What do you want? You know what I mean? And the answer is I don't know. Like it's clear. I still want to see Dylan Gabriel start a game. It's fair to see, and it's fair for Dylan Gabriel to start a game. But to me, After I see Dylan Gabriel play, then I'm gonna be the judge. But Flacco, you take Huntley out of the story. Flacco and Pickett, they shouldn't even be the starter. Like that's just my opinion. Because Flacco, he's a veteran, man. He's a veteran, the veteran presence on the team. Pickett, he's in Cleveland for a reason. He couldn't even pick it in Pittsburgh. How he gonna pick it in Cleveland? Did you see how much fans? Did you guys see how much fans was at the Carolina game for 12? Did you guys see how much support he got from celebrities all over? And you know why he's getting this much support? I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. I've been watching Shadeur and the Colorado Buffaloes because to me, they're the first. I know it's been social media presence. It's been social media presence on football players and football team for the longest, but this is like the first actual inside social media presence you're ever going to see of a football family. And you see the pure joy between Dion and his sons and even his second son because, man, you see the love he got for his players. They're like all his sons at Colorado, leaving Jackson State to go to Colorado. You see the hate, right? Because all the swag came from his dad, right? And the hate that his dad get from this NFL, it goes way back. If I even get into that right now, we'll be here all night, right? So you seen the love, and he been telling everybody in the NFL like, watch out for his players, right? What did Webster go out and do, right? Webster go out, he balled out, he ran back a touchdown. He was a receiver at Colorado, right? Travis Hunter, he over there doing that thing with Jacksonville, right? You got what's his name over at Carolina Panthers, slipping my mind, Jimmy Horn Jr., right? He put some kids in the NFL, and he told the NFL like, "We're coming," and they got a good system going on over there in Colorado right now, and college football need to like be on notice. Do I think that they're ever going to be something to be reckoned with in college football? No. And, big time players just want to play for the SEC teams. Teams like Alabama, Florida, Texas, all the teams in the SEC still runs the league. You know what I mean? But are they going to be better? Are they going to put a lot of kids in the league? Are they going to get elite football players? Yes. The answer is yes. So, you know what I mean? It's always going those players coming out of Colorado is always going to have a target on their back because they're coming from under Deion Sanders. And the NFL do not like Deion Sanders. You know what I mean? This went back way back. They don't like the swag. They don't like the pride. They just want you to sit back, be quiet, play football, go make my money. Like it ain't funny. Just go out there, make my money, be good, say what you need to say to a reporter. Don't shine. Don't show your swag. Don't show none of your swagness. That's all they want you to do. You know what I mean? Like, and that's just life. So I think the situation is pretty clear. And I just had to come on live and put it in the air, and share my little part, share my little 2 cents. Every media, you look at Sports Center, you look at everything that got to do with sport is 100%, not 100%, but a lot of people talking about Shadeur and the Cleveland Browns right now, and rightfully so. You know, it's the headlines It's the number one topic. It's the talk of the town, and it's going down. So I don't know how you guys feel about the situation. Let me know in the comment section who you guys think is going to start at the beginning of the year for Cleveland Browns. The fan base, the fan base is already behind Shadeur Sanders. Um, Bro, you got so much 12 jerseys out there. The dude literally got fans. He gonna have fans on every single team in the NFL because for the simple fact that what he's going through, like people like me, we've been going through this since slavery days, back in time. We've been going through this, right? And it's still going on today. You know, they just want you to go do your job, stay quiet, and go home. It's not like that no more. It's not going down like that, right? You got to be outspoken. I'm a truck driver. A lot of people know that. One thing I hate to see is when my fellow coworkers they're quiet when things is going wrong. Things when they know they're being done wrong. They know a manager is doing them wrong, and they're just sitting there quiet, taking it. That's what they want you to do. They want you to be quiet. They want you to think you're gonna get fired if you speak up. Now's the time to speak up if you feel you're being mistreated. Like I feel bad when I see my fellow drivers, co-drivers get treated bad when I know they could be treated better. Like for instance, I'm gonna give you some real situation, right? Some real situation. Like I was talking to my homies earlier, right? And I told my homies, I'm like, bro, we had some equipment the other day, right? We had some brand new equipment the other day, and the equipment they got issued out to drivers, right? And I try to put my head in management mind sometimes and try to figure out how they think, right? And to me, the way how they operate, not all of them, but the way how they seem to be operating is I can't get it because I put myself in their situation and I went down the line 1 through 4 or 1 through 5 of who I would have gave the equipment to. And the guys that I would have gave the equipment to, none of them didn't get it. But guess what? They're pushing out most of the work. They're pushing out more work than the guys who got the equipment, right? Thank God that, right? But I feel bad for these guys that don't have the equipment, and some of them pushing the same amount of work like me, or even more. And that rubbed me the wrong way that we still got people out there that do not speak up for themselves, and I feel that they need to speak up for themselves. Situation, they want you to be exactly how you guys are being, right? You guys got to stand up and put your foot down, right? It's okay to have a little swag when you know you're out there doing right. Have a little swag about doing right. Have a little confidence of being a good father. It's okay to be a good father. Walk that walk if you know you're a good father, right? Talk that talk if you know you're raising your kids the right way, right? It's okay. Don't let nobody make you feel like you can't do that, right? So I'm just giving you a real life situation of how this world runs. You know what I mean? Let me know in the comment section how you guys feel, man. Shout out to all my coworkers. You know, if it's one thing I hope for my coworkers, man, I wish more of my coworkers could just stand up for themselves. Speak up. You know what I mean? Because just speak up. You know, closed mouth don't get fed. It just don't. You know, definitely don't. We got 6 people up in the building. Share me out. We still here talking about Shadeur Sanders, but you know, we're gonna switch up the topic in a little bit. That's how we always do it on this show. We're trying to have a live stream presence once again. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody that's in the live right now. Shout out to everybody that's watching the live. Shout out to all my new subscribers, all my subscribers out there. Uh, Shout out to Pat in the building. We got G80 Sean just checking in. Shout out to you. What state you in right now, Sean? Shout out to everybody, man. Y'all check in. Let me know what y'all got going on. You know, let me know. Right now, I got this. I got something blocking my screen. Right. Let me try to get this thing off my laptop. Hold on, 1 second. 1 second, guys. Try to see what's going on with my laptop, man. Make sure it ain't showing on you guys' ends. But you in Arcadia? You just delivered to uh, you just delivered to Walmart over there, bro. They let you park over there. You know, Walmart is notoriously known for kicking people out as soon as you finish your load. They don't even give you a chance to. They don't even give you a second to park and get situated. You know, as soon as you finish your load, they just kick you out. You know what I mean? Popping up on my computer screen. I know you guys can't see it, but I'm seeing it from my end. You know what I mean? I can't even see y'all messages right now. About to clear it out, trying to clear it. This what happens when everybody keep using your computer. Let me try to erase it. Okay, there we go. I feel like okay, I'm back. Okay, you headed back to Orlando. Oh, you say nah, over there in the area, man. It's like the woods over there. It ain't a lot of places to park. Let me ask you a question about Arcadia. It's been a while since I've been that way. How's the development over that area, man? Are they building any houses out there? Or is it still like bushes? You know, because I feel a lot cheaper if people start moving out that way, man. Everybody want to be in this cluster, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, you know, Boca, Boynton Beach, come up the line, Port St. Lucie, Fort Pierce, Vero Beach, Orlando, Melbourne. Everybody want to be in the cluster of the East Coast. I feel if people start moving in the middle of Florida more, I feel they'll get more bang for their buck. Yeah, it's not going to be a lot of jobs. The school system, I don't know how the school system will be. I don't know how far you got to drive to school. You know, it's a lot of challenging when it comes to like driving to a store or something like that. But that far, you know, you either gonna live close to the east or close to the west. You know, but I think if people start going in the middle, East Coast is getting like out of hand with the prices and stuff like that. you actually like you'll actually find cheaper houses on the west coast of Florida than on the east coast, and it's beautiful out there on the west coast, man. So people just need to stop living on top of each other. I think people get so used to being around people, and they don't want to move away from the neighborhood, and they got to be around certain type of people. Sometimes you just gotta like go somewhere new and just start over, man. It's okay. It's okay to start over, right? Because houses are so expensive nowadays. Shout out to everybody that's in the building, man. Appreciate y'all for watching me. Uh, this subject been on my mind since yesterday that I wanted to talk about, man. So I'm glad I finally got a chance to come on live and talk about it. You know, and shout out to everybody. If this is your first time going to be checking out this live on the replay, just subscribe to the channel and let's get the channel back up, rocking and rolling. Let's get this subscriber count up. You know, let's get it back up and rolling, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that's out there, man. Shout out to all the truckers that keep this country moving. You know, even though they're being treated bad right now, truck drivers are really being treated bad right now. And I wish truck drivers had like a spokesperson. I wish some truck drivers had like somebody in the government that really cared about transportation, that really like understand how important they could get rid of brokers, right? Because it's not fair, right? It's not fair for a truck driver. They're doing all the job on that load. Let's just say a truck driver can load for 1,000 miles, right? And he get like $2,200 on that load, right? That's over $2 a mile. In your head, that sounds good, right? But who knows how much the broker got for that load? There's a little bit of honest brokers, but then you got a lot of dishonest brokers, right? Some brokers, you telling me if you getting $4,000, you giving a truck driver $2,200 that's doing all the work, right? Crooked, man. That's why for me to get back out there in the trucking game, I have to have my own customers, or I would have to be my own broker. Because like running off the load board like that, like a lot of you guys do, it needs to be more transparency out there in the trucking game, in the trucking world. Nobody cares about truck drivers. It's local too, because when you think about it, man, when you really sit back and you think about it, we go out there and we work hard every day, and it's like I go out there and I grind every day, right? Friday, I got 23 stops, 800 cases, right? But the only time you get a phone call, the only time where you get like somebody want to talk to you, I don't want to hear from you when I do something wrong. I don't want to hear from you when I mess up because that's a small percentage. If I'm not hearing from you when things are going good, I don't want to hear from you when things are going bad. And people can say I got a bad attitude or whatever you want to say. That's just how I feel. And I'm just being honest. Like we work with a lot of good people, people that we work with. But then you got some that just like they just want to talk to you when things go wrong. And truck drivers to me been treated like we work hard. Like we put in the grind. Some of us go to work 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. Some of us go to work like really early, bro. Like Friday, I was up at 1 a.m. putting in that grind, putting in that work. It rained on me, got wet, got back in the truck, start working again in the cold, making sure all my main stops got delivered before lunch. We put in the work. We care about what we do. So I don't want to hear from you when things go wrong. You know, most of us is responsible out here. Most of us, most of us really care about what we do. Most of us, not all of us. So I think it need to be more trust in the trucking industry, and I'm talking about local truckers. I'm talking about the guys over the road, the owner operators, and stuff like that. I think it need to be a lot more trust from both parties. You know what I mean? One thing I can say about U.S. foods, let me give U.S. foods some props, right? U.S. food recognized me as a good worker. I actually got an award for like being a worker that I am from U.S. Food. So shout out to U.S. Food for that. They actually recognize people. You know what I mean? I wasn't driving. I saw my grind. Um, they saw how I just go out there and handle your business. The type of driver that a company needs to have is a customer. That's what you call a driver. If you got a driver, you don't got to worry about him. It's like I can put it in a contrast or contrast Daryl Reeves for the New York Jets, and, and like you don't have to worry about that side of the field. The safety, they don't got to worry about that side of the field. The outside linebacker, who is ever on that side, they don't got to worry about Daryl Reeves giving him double team help. The DN don't got to drop back to give him help. That was Reeves Island. You could not go to that island, right? That island is safe. Like he used to lock down receivers, right? To me, comparing that to truck drivers, when you got drivers that you don't gotta like worry about, to me that's like a good thing to have on your team, right? I don't even know I'm talking about that right now, but the point I'm trying to make is what I'm really trying to say. What I'm trying to say is shout out to U.S. Food, man. You know, they actually is one company that I work for actually recognize the drivers that go out there and grind, not the drivers that you ask, can you do this back haul tomorrow, or hey, can you do this Wednesday? No, those are called drivers that don't have a route. It's in their job description. They got to do it. I'm talking about the drivers that take care of their route day in and day out, take care of their customer day in and day out. I run a hard route, sensitive route. I keep my customers quiet, right? That's the way I keep. So I just felt like putting that out there. You know, shout out to U.S. Food. Um, it didn't. They, they did try to buy it. Nah, man. Cisco was not going to let that happen. Cisco is not gonna sit back and let U.S. Food buy PFG. That ain't gonna happen. Although I respect no more. Um, I'm good where I'm at. You know, work with some pretty good drivers. All my customers pretty good. You know, work with some pretty good drivers. Customers pretty good. Upper management's pretty good. We got some good supervisors, and then we got some. Let me not talk about my job. Let's get back to football. You know what I mean? But yeah, we got some good people, man. You know, majority of people we work with is good, and you know, I got a good attitude. I'm always gonna keep a good attitude, because having a good attitude gets you far in life, man. You know, and that's just the way you gotta be, and that's just what it is, man. We got 5 people up in the building. Um, I'm gonna see if anybody got any comment on the main title of this live before we get back to our Saturday night, man. But most of the people that watch me is truck drivers, and I'm gonna give you truck drivers, man. I'm gonna say this, right? Even though I think most truck drivers do their job, you do got some raggedy truck drivers out there, man. You guys making us look bad. You guys are like the weak link on the team right now. Comparing this to football, because football season is almost gonna start. You know, like I think more drivers need to be responsible and need to do what you need to do, man. Y'all I don't want to get a blast of text every day reminding us to do like little petty things that we know that we should be doing, right? I don't like to have like rule changes every day or supervisors making up rules because of some raggedy truck drivers. Man, y'all do what y'all gotta do. You know what I mean? Because if I identify a weak link on the team, I'm gonna call them out, man. And I don't want no weak link on the team. Like when it's a weak link, a football team only go as far as the weak player, the weak link. You know what I mean? And if we don't need no weak link on our team, because every day it's a competition. We're competing against U.S. Food, Cisco, all these big players out there, GFS. Bro, we don't need the weak stuff. We don't need drivers crying about 600 cases. We don't need drivers crying about too much stops. But I don't like weak links. But you know what? Some supervisors they love weak links for some weird reason, right? They want drivers to cry who got 400 cases, giving them help and stuff. And you got drivers that's really out there grinding. That's a different topic. I don't even know why I started talking about that, but I do not like weak links, because I think as a truck driver, this whole thing is us, you know. And whenever you have a weak link on the team, whenever you have a weak link on the team, it shows. You know what I mean? It definitely shows, man. And I just don't like it. You it really drives me crazy. Drive me crazy because you know why it drives me crazy. I'm gonna tell you why it drives me crazy. Sometimes there's drivers out there that really need the help, and they can't get the help because you got drivers that's taking up the help that you know what I mean. I don't like weaklings, man. Hey, you could have said, hey, couldn't have said no better. Let me show you a comment real quick. They punish hard workers for working hard, bro. But let me put it in a different context. For working hard, and it's like when you know what? I'm not going to talk about the money. I'm gonna leave that alone. Leave that there alone. But hey, you right. You put that thing in right context. They do punish hard workers for working hard, and they hold the workers that's not grinding hard. When I was at U.S. Food giving out awards to the hard workers, to the guys that's out there grinding, bro. They saw the grind, bro. Now I'm with people that's handing out awards for a driver that you can send anywhere. Like, what are we doing? Anyway, let me. That was just on my mind, man. I don't know why that was on my mind, but that was on my mind. You know, sometimes, and I know we talking about this. I know we got off subject, but this really tie into the Shadeur Sanders situation because in life, and that's why I titled it that way, right? Because in life, you seen a helper with somebody with 9 stops, 300 cases. Really? That's crazy, man. That's crazy. One thing I can say, but I think I heard, I'm not sure. We haven't been a part of the performance family for too long, but I heard performance want cases in those trucks, right? I don't think they're just like U.S. Food. They don't want. I don't know. Some of those guys got a man up. I understand what's going on right now. It's kind of slow, so you got to double up some drivers. But don't forget about the drivers that go out there early. Don't forget about like you're forgetting about the drivers that wake up at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Like don't forget about those drivers, right? Stop forgetting about those drivers, right? We got 7 people up in the building. Hit the thumbs up as you come in. Let me know where you're checking in from. And I'm trying to tie it to this situation. I'm trying to tie it all together like a world. Because in life, it's not even a color thing. It have nothing to do with color, right? It's just in life, they want you to be a certain way. They want you to walk a certain path. They want you to roll a certain road, right? And if you do as they like, it's like holding a baby's hand every day and walking them from the car to the house, right? Every day you walking that baby from the car to the house every day. Eventually, you're gonna be able to let that baby hand go, and they're gonna walk to the car. They don't want you to jump out the car and have that swag walk to the front door. They don't want you to jump out the car and walk backwards, right? They don't want you to skip to Malou to the front door and just kick it down and go inside. No, they want you to be in the system, just hold my hand, let's go. That's how they want you to be. And that's just life. That's how society wants you to be. Society wants you to be a certain way. Shout out to PFG Maryland. What you running Maryland? Chain accounts? Let me ask you a question about PFG, right? Maybe you know, maybe you don't know. Does PFG have a case count amount that they want on each truck? Is it a case limit on each truck? How is it over there? And are you on component pay? How is the component pay? Because it's still up in the air. Component pay to us, or are we keeping our pay? I don't know. It still haven't been discussed. Nobody knows. None of our drivers knows. You know, it's just a wait and see approach. You know, I don't know how they pay component. I don't know how they pay per case. I don't know if PFG Maryland pays different from PFG Florida. We just don't know. Think we'll be getting our first PFG paycheck. So we got to go from there. We've been on this live 56 minutes. We got like another 4 more minutes. We're gonna get out of here. No, yeah, it's complete. But I'm out of a job yard. We do okay. So y'all do allow to work like that. Okay, that's what's up. How's the component pay? How's the component pay though? Oh man, do you guys got like a minimum pay that you guys do you guys got a minimum daily pay? Cause I got a homie that's in North Carolina. His minimum pay is 275. So I really don't know what the minimum pay is. I don't know if you can break it down for me and let me know what it really is. But hey, we've been on here for an hour, man. We're about to get out of here. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm about to step out, man. I'm about to step out. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going somewhere. It's Saturday night. I don't go back to work till Wednesday. You know, back to school Monday. That Monday, man. Sometimes I think it's a waste of time to bring your kid to school the first day. It's just hectic with the. I'm just thinking about all the people that's new to the neighborhood, how they gonna be there kissing their kids goodbye. Kids gonna be crying, especially kids that starting school for the first time. Gonna be crying and whining and stuff. It's gonna be hectic. I think for a kid that been to the school, I think for a kid that been to the school, right, and knows the ins and outs for the school, I don't think they should go to school until like day 3, when everything just calms down a little, and just walk up in the classroom and be like, "Yo, I'm here. Let's go." You know what I mean? Because like the first day of school is like a big nothing, unless you had a teacher like me. The first day of class, I'm handing out textbooks. I'm like, all right, let's turn to page 12. What's your name, young boy? Start reading. I wouldn't even play the radio with those kids. Like, my kids would be on point. Like, you gonna be learning from day one, from minute one till the last minute of the class. I'm gonna have a little fun while they learn though, but that'd be the type of teacher we wouldn't waste not even one time in my class. I wouldn't give them no homework though, because I don't believe in homework. To give a kid homework now is just setting your class up for failure. Because nowadays, you give a kid a homework, they just like literally telling AI to do your homework. AI is doing your homework. They're not doing their homework. Math, you just plug in the numbers in AI, you get answers. Like, I wouldn't even give kids no homework. It's a waste of time. They don't really learn nothing. Now, if you want them to read, then that makes sense. But the fact that you gonna get a math homework, to me, it's a waste of time. You know. So PFG got different tiers. How many tiers? So okay, they got different tiers. Hey, when we get there, we'll get there, man. Appreciate for talking to you. Uh, talking to everybody up in here, man. Hey, we'll holler at y'all, man. Y'all be easy.